situation where you need to defend very center. So what you need to do is put your left foot forward, right foot back, using that same stance we just learned, and letting your hands come gently to your center. Just here. Lower your weight. Shift your weight onto your front foot. Turn in a circle to the right. And turn back. And just leave your hands in your center, where you could use them if you needed them to protect your body. As you turn this time, turn on the balls of your feet, but don't lift your heels up. You can see that makes you very unbalanced. You want to keep your weight low, sort of like skating, being very smooth on the ground. So again, turn, keep your weight low, and turn back. Good. Turn again, and come back. Good. Let's try the other side. Put your right foot forward, same position. And it's over. There's nothing you can do. It's real important to learn how to hit the ground and not be seriously injured so that you can get back upright again, or at least that you can learn to deal with someone from the ground. If you don't know how to fall, you'll end up hitting your back of your head, and it's really, of course, very painful and very damaging, and then you're very, very vulnerable. Being on the ground feels very vulnerable, and it is very vulnerable, especially if you've already damaged yourself just by falling over. So one of the real important things to learn is how to hit the ground in a way that you won't be damaged and that you'll feel able to move on the ground forward fall. I'll demonstrate it for you. From this position, that triangle stance that we used before in the other exercises, you're going to fold your leg behind you, sort of like a ballet position. You're going to fold your leg behind you and sit down. Rock back and come back up. In that position, you won't hit your head and you won't land flat on your back. By keeping your legs together, it makes your back sort of round and you won't hurt yourself. Watch again. Notice my head doesn't hit the ground, and I also don't open out flat and push the air out of my body. This is a real important exercise in learning how to fall and taking some of the fear away of hitting the ground. What I'd like you to do is stand up. Make sure that you have enough room behind you and around you so that when you're falling you don't hit yourself into any furniture or your partner if you're working with someone. What I want you to do is take that triangle stance position with your left foot forward. Just be relaxed, your hands comfortably at your sides, and make sure your knees are a little bit bent. Again, don't lock your knees. It makes your center of balance go up too high. Bend your knees a little bit. Shift your weight onto your front foot. Pick up the back foot and just put it in a place where you can balance yourself. Most of your weight should be on your front foot. You're going to lower your weight down to the ground and just sit down. It's a very simple and elegant way to get down to the ground without hitting real hard. We're also going to come back up. In order to do that, you'll need to lean forward. Make sure that your leg is dropped open. Don't try to stand up over your leg. Make sure this stays open. And if you need to, use your hands to give yourself a push forward. Bring your weight forward and just come up and stand all the way up. Let's try it again. Shift your weight onto your front foot, put your foot behind you, and lower yourself down. Good. And come back up. And you can use your hand to push if you need to. That's fine. Let's try it on the other side as well, just a few times. Right foot's forward. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Pick up that back foot and lower your weight down. Make sure this stays folded in this sort of V position. And come back up. Stand up. Good. And again. Down. And back up. One more time. Down. And back up. This time, let's go down to the ground. Down. And from this position, put your hands in your center. Just watch 1 second. What I'm going to do is overbalance. I'm going to pick up my legs and just rock. You're going to tuck your chin in, put your hands in your center, Pick your legs up and just rock back, rock forward. Make your back like the bottom of a rocking chair. Let's try it together. Drop your chin down, put your hands in your center, and pick up your legs till you overbalance. And come forward. Make sure to bring your body a little bit forward as you come back through. And rock back, drop your chin, and come up. One more. Back and forward. This time, stand up. And we're going to go through the whole exercise sitting down, rocking back, and coming up to standing position. Let's change. Put the right foot forward. Fold your foot behind you. Sit down. Rock all the way back. Come forward and stand all the way up. Make sure to keep your hands in your center and your chin tucked. Again, fold your leg down. Rock all the way back. And stand up. Let's try it on the other side. Same idea. Shift your weight forward, fold your leg behind you, and go down. Tuck your chin. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. Good. Take it easy now. The next segment that we're going to work on is body language. The messages you give to someone in the way that you walk and the way that you hold yourself are very important. Criminals tell us that they choose their victims very frequently on the body language, on the messages they give with the body. The next thing I want to work on with you is a combination of all the things we've done up till now. We're going to take that breathing and the centering and moving and turning and the sound and put it all together, because each one of these exercises builds one on another, and we need to put them together to see how they fit. If you use them only separately, they're valuable, but this really is sort of a package that you can use in moving about. So what we're going to do is you're going to take a little walk and turn and let your breath out, give some sound, and get those hands in your center. It's going to look like this. You're walking, and no! You're going to give that real assertive sound. Let your breath out. Good body language, real strong turn, drop your weight, and let out that sound. Let's try it together. Okay, let's walk. And just walk, real assertive, strong, and turn, and no! Good. And walk, and turn. No! Good. Walk, and turn, and no! Good. Keep going. And turn. No! Make sure to practice on both sides so you're not always turning the same direction. And walk, and turn. No! And walk, and turn. No! Good. One more. Walk and turn. No! Good. Have a seat now. Working on all these exercises together can be real valuable for you, not only in a self-defense situation or a confrontation, but in your daily life. If you walk from your center and breathe from your center and move in a self-assured manner, people respond to you differently. If you're moving in a way that says, I'm secure with myself and I'm valuable and I'm worth it, people respond to you in that manner. If you give messages with your body and your movements and your breath that you're frightened or shy or timid, people tend to respond to you in that way. So continued practice of all these exercises separately and then together can work on your self-assurance and give you that calm, centered feeling that you need to deal with situations, whether it be a physical attack, a verbal attack, or an emotional attack. This will really help in your daily life. Self-confidence, self-assurance, and self-control are really what self-defense is about. The kind of training that occurs in a martial arts school like this is really a process of working on the self. Many people believe that guns and mace and whistles are a better form of self-defense than the kind of training presented in this tape. What you'll see in the two following examples are situations where an attacker succeeds despite the fact that in the first example the woman has mace in her purse, and in the second the woman jogger is wearing a whistle. Like mace and whistles as gimmicks. They may help. A set of exercises will learn some very specific techniques to deal with attacks. Perhaps one of the most important things to learn is how to use a man's physical aggression and power against him. Watch what happens in the next case. What the woman did when the attacker pulled her was to combine his strength with hers, and she was able to poke his eyes out and push him to the ground. If she tried to fight him physically, his strength would have won out. This next case is perhaps the most frightening. It is the case where the rape victim knows her attacker. In fact, the most common situation. What happened was the woman applied a simple technique to escape the hair grab and then kneed the janitor in the groin. This is a pattern that the next set of exercises will follow, learning how to escape an attack and either running away or striking a vital point to disable an attacker. The next series of exercises that we'll do are partner exercises. It's real important that you pick a partner that you're comfortable with. You may want to start out working with a woman friend, someone that you really trust and feel good about. But it might be all right to work with a partner, such as your brother or your husband, your father, your son, a man that you trust. Picking your partner is a real important part of these exercises. Make sure you feel comfortable and confident with the person you're working with. Another important point to realize is in the next series of exercises, these are exercises that potentially can be used to harm someone. So it's real important to do them deliberately and slowly and carefully. What you're doing now is learning a pattern for your body to follow. You're not right at this point ready to move into quick, sharp movements. So please be careful. For the person who's going to play the attacker, make sure not to grab too hard or jerk people. We're not ready at this point to be able to deal with that. But as you practice these again and again and again, you'll be able to deal with a stronger hold, a quicker jerk, and a more threatening situation. But please, in this segment, work with someone you trust and know, and do them slowly and deliberately the way that they're demonstrated. The first exercise we'll do is called the unbendable arm. This is really basically an exercise to teach you about will, that you're in control of your body. A lot of times we think, oh, I ought to be tight and muscular, and that'll make me strong, and that'll make me centered. But this exercise teaches you that through the centering and through the breathing, you can put a lot of power into your body, and that you can control how your body reacts and responds. So you're going to work with your partner. So stand up. John, would you join me? And have your partner stand, about arms width apart. The first thing you'll do is clench your fist. Lay it on your partner's shoulder and clench your fist. Be as tight and as tough and as muscular and as strong as you can get. What your partner's going to do is take his or her hands, put them in the crook of your arm, and pull down while you're going to be real strong. You're going to use all your muscular strength to fight them pulling down your arm. Just try it. It's usually pretty easy to do. Okay? This time, try it one more time, and really go for that tight, strong muscular strength. Okay, real hard. Oh, it's still really easy to do. Okay, now you're going to give yourself a mental image. Resting your arm on your partner's shoulder, making sure your hand is open and relaxed. Want you to breathe in and breathe out and send all your breath and all your energy through your arm in a real relaxed way. You want to use that centered breathing you've already learned about. Think of the breath coming in as water and the breath going out as water going through your arm. It's like a hose that's full of water. It's flexible, but it's very firm. So let's do this a couple times. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, have your partner pull down on your arm, and breathe out. You'll find it's a lot harder to bend that arm. Try it again. Breathe in, and breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, and breathe out, and lower your weight. I think all of you found it's a lot harder to bend that arm. Thank you. Okay, you can have a seat now. This next exercise is vital points. The vital points are the parts of the body that are most vulnerable when pressed or attacked. These are the kinds of things that can help you in a close body-to-body situation if you want to get your partner's attention and perhaps startle them enough to get them away from you or create an opening so that you can get away. The hardest part about this exercise is our own socialization. Women typically are not taught the rough and tumble kinds of play that boys are taught. Girls don't tend to play in that manner, although things are changing, I'm glad to say. But for a lot of us, it's real hard to think about damaging or hurting another person. We are socialized to not do that. And it's real scary to actually get yourself to do that. But when you're in a situation where your physical safety is really compromised, you have the right to fight back. Spirited resistance is what you need. If you are just a victim, it's over before it starts. So you need to school yourself to be able to understand what these points are and how you can use them. So what I'd like you to do with your partner is touching the vital points. These points on the human body are the ears, the eyes, the bridge of the nose, underneath the nose, under the chin, the throat, groin area, knee, shin, and instep. We typically are not working in the stomach area because women often don't have a strong enough punch to do any real damage to a man. It's perfectly fine to try through that point, but you're going to get a lot more for your money if you go for something that's really painful, particularly eyes or throat or bridge of the nose, and groin, of course. So I'll demonstrate this with my partner. John? Have your partner stand pretty close to you so that you can touch them easily. And all you're going to do in this first exercise is remember your centering and your breathing, keeping your knees a little flexed and your weight low. You're going to touch the vital points. Sides of your hands, or even with a fist. If you're going to use a fist, make sure your thumb is on the outside. This way you'll hurt yourself. So, ears, poking the eyes, but you're just going to touch. Okay? Bridge of the nose, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, working both hands. Throat, groin, up from underneath, knee to the groin, in deep, knee to the groin. Kicking the knee, kicking the shin, and instep. Those are the vital points. Let's try this together. So stand up and face your partner. Okay, I'll call them out for you. Ears, eyes, bridge of the nose, underneath the nose with one hand, underneath with the other. Remember to drop your weight as your hand comes up. You want to have your knees bent and your weight down. Underneath the chin, coming up from underneath with your palm. Other hand, coming up. Underneath the groin with your hand, touching. Underneath the groin, up. Knee, in deep. Other knee, in deep. Kicking the knee, either foot. Kicking the shin, and down on the instep. Again. Ears, eyes, bridge of the nose, underneath the nose with the other hand. Chin, chin with the other hand. elbow, elbow, throat, press, underneath the groin, groin, knee to the groin, knee to the groin, come in deep. Kicking the knee, kicking the shin, and down on the instep. Again, ears, eyes, bridge of the nose, underneath the nose, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, and again, throat, pressing with your thumbs, elbow to the throat, elbow to the throat, again, underneath, touching the groin, underneath, knee, knee, kicking the knee, kicking the shin, and straight down on the instep. Good. Okay, you can take a rest now. Thank you. Our next exercise is working on dealing with what happens if you get knocked over to the ground. This is one of the scariest things that can happen. You feel very, very vulnerable on the ground. So this is to give you a strategy on what to do if you're on the ground. What we'll do is a fall, that backward fall that we practiced earlier, and then work from the ground against an attacker who's trying to get you. A lot of people think that if you hit the ground, it's all over. There's nothing you can do. You just might as well give in. You're a complete victim. Well, actually, there are some strategies that you can use on the ground, and this is one of them. So I'll demonstrate with my partner, John. What we're going to do is very gently have your partner give a little bit of a push, just a little one. Why don't you back up? Just a little bit of a push, and you're going to go down into that beautiful backward fall you learned earlier. So your partner gives a little bit of a push, you're going to go down into that backward fall. Now your partner is going to come toward you, and they're trying to get you. This is the kind of thing where somebody's trying to come down onto you. What you want to do at this point is, as the person comes toward you, is to kick low for the person's legs as they're moving. The other thing that's very, very important here is to always try to keep the person in front of you. So if your partner starts to move, you move to keep the person in front of you. You want to keep them in front and kick low. Kick low. What happens is if I kick up high, is I get flipped. So it's very important to kick low. What you should do with your partner is make sure to move pretty slowly at first. This is real strenuous, and it's hard to coordinate the movements. Again, it's just like the other exercises. Start slowly and work up to speed. We'll do it pretty slowly, so partners, please be kind. Okay, let's try it. So stand up, and with your partner, real gentle, you're going to give a little push and go down into that fall, and then come toward your person, right, and keep moving. Keep the person in front of you. Kick low. Kick low. Right. Make sure not to raise your legs. Try to keep breathing if you can. It's pretty hard. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Let's stand up and switch. So if you're working with a man, just continue. If you're working with another woman, change roles now. Okay? And a little push, and down you go. And keep working. Keep kicking low. Try not to raise your legs. Try not to let the person get behind you. It's real important to keep them in front of you. Real important. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Good. Wonderful. Okay. You can take a little rest now. Thank you. Good. The next series of exercises are based on the principles of pushing and pulling. It's real difficult to deal with something by trying to overwhelm someone with force as they're pushing and pulling. In Aikido, which is a martial art and where we base many of these principles that we're working on, the idea is you go with the attacker. You use their force to deal with the situation. So the principles that we'll work on now are push when pulled and pull when pushed. John? We're going to demonstrate the first one. Okay? If he pulls me from this position and I try to pull back, we end up in a struggle where his physical strength will overwhelm me. There's no question about it. What I want to do here is startle this person and use that force that he's using against me to deal with the situation. So as he pulls, rather than my trying to counteract his force, as he pulls, I go with him. That gives me all his power and mine combined. So this is the principle. When pulled, you push. You go with the movement. So please have your partner stand up. You're going to grab in that same kind of grab we did in the first exercise. And your partner's going to give a gentle pull. Just try a gentle pull and struggle against it. Okay, I want you to feel that person's power and see what happens. If they let go right now, you lose your balance. And remember, it's easier to work from a standing up position than on the ground. So again, this time, your partner's going to give a gentle pull, and you're going to slide your foot in. Lower your weight. Let's just try that together. Gentle pull, slide in, lower your weight. Okay, this time you can bring your hand up into that palm heel position that we worked on in the vital points. So as your partner pulls, slide in, palm comes up. Try it together. Slide in, palm comes up. Partner, make sure to get your head out of the way. This can be a good opportunity to practice the backward roll if you want to. Let me just demonstrate real quickly. For the partner to demonstrate the backward roll. But for now, let's just work on this idea of push when pull. So give another pull, slide in, lower your weight, and bring that hand up. Make sure not to try to reach up. You actually can lower your weight and your hand will reach, even a pretty tall person. Let's try it on the other side. Gentle pull, move with it, and bring the hand up. Gentle pull, lower your weight, breathe out. Good. And if you haven't changed partners, please do so. Okay, let's try again. Pull. Good. One more. Pull and slide in. And change to the other side now. Give a little pull and breathe out. And give a pull and breathe out. Good. It's a real good principle to work with. Thank you. Okay, you can have a seat. The last principle we'll work on is the idea of pulling when pushed. It's the exact opposite of what we just did. I was being pulled and I pushed. This time I'm going to be pushed and I'll pull. Sort of like a swinging door. It can open either way. So, John? In this situation, we'll start again with this hand grab. But you can also do this with a shoulder push as well. But just for continuity, and this is what we've been working on, we'll work with this. He's going to push toward me. If I try to fight him, what he does is he just pushes me off balance. So what I want to do as he pushes me is to let him go by. Other side. As he pushes me, I let him go by. I just make room. I pull. He pushes, I pull. Very simple exercise. So have your partner stand up. Okay, let's do it on this side. Okay, partners, gently push and have the person, you want to fight them. See if you can fight him. And see what happens to your balance. Okay, try that again. See what happens to your balance when you fight. You usually will lose your balance. This time, a gentle push, and you're going to step your foot back. Step back. Push, and open the door. Good. I think you can get the sensation you can really send someone flying with this one. Okay, take a rest. Thank you. The next exercise we'll work on is how to deal with an attack from behind. This is a very scary attack in that you may have no idea that someone's coming up behind you. what we'll do is have our partners come up behind and just grab around. John? Your partner's going to come into this position and bring their arms around, just like this. The most important part of this is remembering the exercises we did earlier of lowering your weight and being centered. As your partner comes around, as you feel those arms coming around, you want to turn your hands over, bring them into your center, and lower your weight. This makes a little bit of room and keeps you from getting your arms crunched against your side where you can be picked up and carried off. You want to lower your weight, make yourself centered and heavy. Bring your arms around, just like this. The next part of this is, how do I escape once I've made a little bit of room? Bring your arms around, and I'm going to take these hands and bring them into my body, lowering my weight and just stepping out. Very important at this point not to bend over. If I bend over, my weight, I'm very easily picked up. I sort of send my weight up into the air. I can also bring the person over on top of me. So again, the person grabs, lower your weight, bring your hands to your center, hands come up, you're going to step out to the side and down, this position. At this point, in all the exercises that we've done, you have a choice. Once you've broken a hold or gotten away, I can go for a vital point, or I can run away if I have that opportunity. So please stand up and with your partner. Have your partner grab around. Okay, feel what it's like to just let your weight go up. Don't center yourself, just let your weight go up. Person can pick you up probably pretty easily. Okay, this time, as the person grabs, turn your hands over, drop your weight. And let your partner feel that it's a little more difficult to pick you up. Just try gently. It's a little bit harder to pick the person up. They're more centered. Their weight or center of gravity is a lot lower. Just try this a few times. Grabbing around, bring your hands to your center, and drop your weight. This time, partners, don't try to pick each other up. Just try the exercise. Again, and lower your weight. And again, and lower your weight. Now change partners so that everybody gets a chance to try this part of the exercise. Let's do a couple more. And grab around. Turn your hands over into your center. Lower your weight. Keep your hands where you can use them and keep your body upright. Remember not to bend over. And again. And just lower your weight. Good. Okay, change partners again and we'll finish off this whole exercise. Person grabs around. You're going to bring your hands and right onto your partner's hands. If they have very big, long arms, whatever part of their arm is right in the center of your chest, that's what you want to bring toward you. Dropping your elbows into your side. You want to press that into your chest, making a connection. Your weight is lowered. What you're going to do is step one foot out to the side and a little bit to the back and sink your weight down. Bring your hands around, press into the center, drop your weight. Remember to make yourself feel heavy. And step out to the side. This can take somebody's balance, as you can see. One more time. Drop your weight, hands pressed in, and step out. Good. Thank you. You can have a seat now. The next situation we'll work with is a choke from the front. Women are often very frightened by this. It really is very shocking to all of a sudden have someone's hands around your throat. It's real difficult to deal with this situation because immediately it feels like your breathing is being stopped, and that's exactly what you need to do in order to keep things going. The thing we forget is that when someone grabs our throat, our hands and our legs are free. We can do something with it if we're able to continue thinking. So John, will you help me, please? What will happen here is your partner's going to put their hands around your throat in a choke position. As you can see in this position, my hands and my legs are free. I actually have a lot of options here, but the problem is being able to remember to do them. So this is where your centering comes into play. Lowering your weight, getting that calm feeling, and not trying to pull these off. This person's a lot stronger than I am. I can't pull this off. I can't make this come away from my body. He's just stronger than I am. By the time I struggle with this, I'm out of air, and I've fainted. Then it's all over. So I don't want to be attentive to this, but I want to deal with the body and use what I have. So what we'll do is lower our weight and swing your arms up. Using the momentum of your weight being lowered. It's as if like when you're walking, your arm swings free. You're going to use that sensation as you lower your weight and swing up your arms. In this position, you can move on to something that'll finish the situation. Let's try it with your partner, so please stand up. Gently now. Make sure your hands are gently around the neck. Don't press hard, but it should be firm. You should feel some pressure, but not squeezing in, especially not in the beginning. You need to be careful. Lower your weight, sink down. Let your arms fall to your sides very comfortably. Okay, and come back up. Okay. Lower your weight and bring your arms up. And come down. Just that much. Lower your weight and swing up. Sharp movement, let your breath out. And again, lower your weight, swing up. Good. Okay, one more. Lower your weight, swing up. On this next one, after you swing up, put your hands on your partner's hair, bring your head down, and your knee comes up. Make sure to use both hands on the head to steady yourself. So, lower your weight, swing those hands up on the head, and bring it down to the knee. Again. Swing up, here, and down. One more. Swing up, and grab, and down. Good, thank you. You can have a seat now. The next situation we'll work with is a choke from behind. Again, women are often very frightened by the choke in that it stops your breathing right away and it makes you very, very anxious. So we'll use a lot of the principles that we've used all along to deal with a choke from behind. The main thing you don't want to do, just like in the front choke, is to try to pull away. So I'm going to have John come and work with me on this again. At this point, you have your partner come from behind, and it's a choke. Typically, this would be against the carotid arteries. It would cause constriction of the air. What you want to do in this position is try not to pull away. If you pull away, it just draws you tighter into the choke. What I want to do here is take my hands and sort of cup them so they're a little bit round, sort of like a hooking sensation, and place them on my partner's arm, dropping my elbows into my center and lowering my weight. This is very much like the bear hug that we did. It's the same idea. You don't want this to come up higher and come into the choke. You're going to drop this down, sort of like a rolling sensation into your center. At this point, you lower your weight, and exactly the same thing you did on the bear hug. Step out to the back, lower down, and step out. Okay, you can stand up and try it with your partner now. Okay. Start out in this position with a lower choke and work up into a tighter choke. Cupping your hands on your partner's arm, drop your elbows down, sort of to the back and to the side a little bit, bend your knees, and go down. Be real careful not to bend over straight. You'll just bring the person. Same thing. At this point, you're probably trying to get some air in, and as you lower your weight, try to let the air out. Okay, one more. Breathe in, and let your breath out. Good. Real good. Thank you. Self-defense can't be learned without continuous practice. If you're interested in going beyond this tape, I suggest checking with your local or more intensive training.